welcome to the Cutting Chai Stories brought to you by ET Edge. I'm your host Deipti Dewan, and today in this episode of ET Edge Cutting Chai Stories, I bring to you conversations, over a cup of cutting chai. It is said a leader is someone who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. And today, indeed, we have with us one such leader. ETH is delighted to have with us Mr. Rudra Bansal, Chief Technology Officer, Arthan Finance. In his 25 years of experience in IT and operations in financial services companies, he has spent the last 10 years in a strong leadership role. Mr. Rudra has led multiple digital transformation in the area of mutual funds, wealth management, loan sourcing, and collection process. He has a vast experience in application development, mobility, and cloud technology. So, a very warm welcome to you, sir, to Cutting Chai Stories. The key to cutting chai conversations is to have a good discussion around the areas of your early life, education, grooming, training, business sense, skills augmentation, and work life balance. So, let us begin with your early years. If you could tell us, please, if you could take us through a brief background about your parents, your family, and friends, and also your schooling, and if there were any instances that you recall during your school days.
Thanks, Dipti. It's a pleasure, and thank you for inviting me. Yeah, so I actually belong to Odisha, and I did my graduation in agricultural technology, and then moved to a finance company, which was Unit Trust of India, way back in 1994, as an officer. So in terms of my parents, yeah, my father was a teacher and mother was a homemaker. They're no more, but last few years back, I lost both of them. And in terms of my siblings, all are in Odisha. They've never stepped out of Odisha for job. Of course, they've come to different states for pleasure trip and all, but they're all in government jobs and settled in Odisha. I am the only one who thought of stepping out of Odisha and doing private job. And so when I was doing my technology in agriculture in Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, I initially the idea was to just get into a government job because I come from a very uh, lower middle class background. So the only objective was to get into a job so that you are secure. But yeah, then when I came to this, I was pursuing my degree. So I got in contact with a lot of good friends and well-wishers. They guided me that you need not stick to this particular profession. You can always you have a lot of other opportunities you can look out for and get into some other kind of career. So that's how I first joined as an officer in Unit Trust of India way back in 1994. At that time, it was a public sector financial institution, though it was a mutual fund, but it used to call it as a financial institution. Um, then I served almost 10 years there in different roles, but it was in UTI where my technology foundation was, laid, where I got to learn a lot of things. So there was this in this particular job, you had a lot of liberty. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Like you can do sales, you can do marketing, you can do work in operation. You can, if you have good skill, you can also work in technology. And that was the early years when technology was making a lot of waves. We had a major technology upgradation project where I was part of the task force. So most of my technology learning is based on the on the job learning. So I learned while doing a job, and in fact I got those opportunity and tried to cash in on them because it was my passion and I liked working in the technology side of the business. though I was not recruited only for specifically for technology. So it was my interest. Then I started leading a team to for the technology upgradation project, and it was back in those early, sometime in or late, I would say 1997 or 98. We first time did online transactions across the counter and served redemption checks across the counter to the customers. That was very unique. That was completely with our local effort and by using technology at the local level. So from then 2003, of course, there was this US 64 scam happened, and a lot of bad news about UTI, and government decided to privatize UTI. That is where I thought of moving to a different, kind of, I would say, posture where I found opportunities in technology space. So I moved into technology. So that was in 2003, and I worked in a company called Datacons Private Limited, was providing software to the mutual funds and wealth management companies. Then from there, I moved to Oracle Financial Software and Services. I worked almost for 5 years there and implemented multiple projects abroad, especially the core banking and wealth management projects. And from there, I came back again to India, and I joined as head of technology at DBS Cholamandalam Mutual Fund, which was subsequently, acquired by L&T Financial Services, and so it became L&T Mutual Fund. Then we acquired Fidelity Mutual Fund, Fidelity Fund Management India. So we became a bigger fund house, and then I was heading the IT technology for them. But then since technology was a group function at a financial services conglomerate, so I was given charge of some of the lending side of business, where I was entrusted to carry out some of the digital transformation in the retail lending side, that is in uh, two-wheeler finance, microfinance, and I was the one who introduced mobility in loan sourcing. That is way back in 2014 and 15, and that was hugely successful. And one of the reason why it was successful, that we developed the application completely in-house using our own technical resources, and managed it and rolled it out very quickly. And it was a high volume business. Every month we used to source around 100,000 applications, loan application under microfinance. And post that, I also uh, in fact, I was made responsible for the entire retail lending business, to manage the technology and the digital assets. So I started transforming the entire sourcing process for the two-wheeler finance, then and the farm finance, and of course the housing finance as well. So it was a very enriching experience at L&T Financial Services, where I spent almost it was 11 years. And in 2019, I was just talking to some of my acquaintances, and the idea of getting into a fintech type of, because that was a kind of buzzword, and a lot of people were taking interest, and a lot of fintechs were getting successful. So we thought, let us also jump into that bandwagon. And I joined with Arthan Finance, which we started in 2019. We started from the scratch, and it was a good experience to build everything from scratch and build the entire tech stack. And since it was a new NBFC, completely tech-led NBFC, I thought it is I will have a lot of opportunity to apply my own innovative ideas and past experience, and that's how. Now the journey has been very good. Of course, it was interrupted by the corona, and so kind of 2 years. So the way we expected that we could grow probably didn't happen that way, but still the journey has been very satisfying. And So far, we are doing good. I mean,
Well, absolutely. So you've had a very long innings. We'll come back to your professional life because I'm sure our viewers want to know so much more about your entire tenure and all the experiences that you had. I'd
yeah.
just like to quickly go back to your, school and college life. Do you
Okay.
think that during those times, did you have any early life lessons that have helped you in your professional life and personal life? Or any mentors that have influenced your life that you had early on in your early years of childhood and your college years? Any mentors that you had that you looked up to?
So in school life, yeah, there was a teacher who was I was studying in a rural school. Even some of the teachers were not quite qualified, but somehow they were given the post of a teacher. But one of them was really brilliant. I mean, he was overqualified to be a teacher there, and
Hmm.
he's the one. Whatever he had taught me during those 2 3 years, probably I still remember everything whatever he had taught me.
Hmm.
That helped me throughout. So he taught me science and math, and those are the things it completely got engraved in my mind. Until that, whatever he had taught me, I think I didn't have to read them again, and I remember them completely. The person he had taught me, but the other persons, of course, I was also weak because I didn't get a good teaching. So he definitely was my role model, I would say, or he had influenced me, and he has guided me in my career. Then moving on further, of course, in my professional life, there was Mr. Sanjay Sinha, who was heading our branch at Bhubaneswar TTI. Subsequently, he became a CIO at SBI Mutual Fund. Then he was also a CEO at L&T Mutual Fund. So he's the one I always look up to him as a mentor, and I consult him for any decision that I take, whether in terms of my personal life or in terms of my career. So he's the one who has really influenced me and helped me a lot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. So your foundation was very strong thanks to that teacher, and of course, your late father also was a teacher.
Yes.
So the foundation being that solid, it explains how you've reached where you have reached today and how everyone looks up to you. So such a long spanning career. Like you mentioned, there were many highs and lows, Corona being one of them. Any best or worst moments that you think you remember, and any leadership traits that came about that you imbibed or that naturally came about during this entire course?
Yeah, so I would say what I have learned during my whole career is you have to uh, get good people, groom them, then your job is done.
Mm.
So, getting good people in your team, you have to invest in it, you have to spend time, monitor them, groom them, and they will definitely give you a lot of returns in terms of most of your whatever you aspire to do, or whatever you want to achieve professionally or for the organization. I think those are the one who will do it for you. So that's why it is very important to be very selective and spend time to be very diligent and careful in recruiting and acquiring your resources. So whether it was in my software career, software company in Oracle software services and company, or whether it was in L&T Financial Services, also here in Arthan Finance. So that has been the key to get key people or key team member so that they will deliver for you.
Right.
And yeah, in terms of highs, yes, see, as I said, I introduced this mobility in L&T Financial Services, the microfinance.
Mm.
So I mean, it was so satisfying when I actually went to the field and saw our front-end officers, frontline officers who go to the field, meet the rural entrepreneurs. When I say entrepreneur, those are ladies working as a part of a self-help group,
Mm.
and they do their own small businesses and earn some livelihood for themselves. So when I saw this particular application, which was developed in-house completely with our own effort, and which was actually delivering productivity to our frontline officers, and making things very easier for the customers as well, because for them earlier it was a lot of documentation they have to keep ready, a lot of xerox copies and documents they have to keep it ready, and then the whole time that it was taking for dispersal, the whole turnaround time was almost 15 days. And with this introduction of the mobile sourcing and backend approval, STP approval process, so those got disbursed within 3 to 4 days. So when I saw it in the field, I traveled back on the. I just kind of a pillion as a pillion rider. I went with one of the frontline officer, went to the field and saw this things working on the field. It was really very satisfying, and so that will, I mean, give you a lot of satisfaction, irrespective of whatever official recognition you get at your professional level, or at in terms of your financial growth, anything. These kind of experiences really give you a lot of satisfaction.
Absolutely. Well, that explains how you lead your team. You choose your team right, and then half the job is done there, and then everything follows.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, sir? At this point, I'd just like to ask you, what do you think about your behavior? What is it about your behavior that attracts people towards you?
Yeah, I always act as a kind of as a friend, as a kind of guide, and try to make things, or to make or enable things for them, facilitate few things so that they can achieve what they want to do. So I never act as a boss, or kind of who always admonishes them that no, you are not doing this, or I keep on threatening them that they will not get growth or any kind of. So always it's a motivation and kind of persuasive kind of method that I use, which is and to my, I can always boast of saying this. So in my whole career, when I've recruited some key people, they've never left me, and when I have left, they followed me. So still, some of them are working with me. So that is why I think they like working with me, and I do like working with them as well. So it's a very good bonding, which really has helped. And yeah, it's a mutual. I mean, I always also feel that I have grown because of them, and I have to see that they have to grow professionally, and they can contribute, make a lot of meaningful contribution to the organization, and create a lot of value for the organization.
Well, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Quickly talking about your skills, I'm sure over the years there have been many skills that you've worked on some you've developed. So, how have you invested in yourself to keep improving on your skills? I'm sure the viewers would want to know this.
Yeah. So I was fortunate. A lot of training I got on the job. Uh, my organizations, they have given me a lot of training. They have sent me for some of the training to some of the sites, and because I had shown my interest, and I had shown my mettle, so that is why I was picked up a lot of times to get those advanced skill training. And at the same time, I invested in, like, I also thought that I should have some managerial skill uh, uh, training, so that I got a certification from IIM Lucknow. That was purely from my personal effort. I invested some time. It was an offsite on-site kind of a course where I went through that rigor, but it was really very, again, enriching. And yes, I mean, in terms of skills, I have picked up this cloud technology, because again, everything by doing it, and of course involving the right kind of partners, and right kind of people around us, and believing in certain people who had earlier worked with you. So that has really helped me. So being a new organization, so it was very important that completely you are on cloud and we are cloud born, because we cannot set up a data center. And at the same time, we wanted the flexibility and the scalability whenever we want that should be very quickly. We should get that scalability and flexibility to go to market. So cloud, my when I developed my cloud skill, that really has helped us, and I in turn has helped my organization as well. And of course, with I always love this open source technologies.
Mm.
Uh, I have got a lot of training on that, and all my applications that we have developed so far in my earlier organization as well as in this organization, mostly they are based on open source technology. And so I also believe in a kind of uh, it's a both mix of build and buy kind of strategy where and this has been very successful in my earlier organization and here as well. So completely you cannot depend on third-party solutions. Sometimes you have to build certain solutions so that you have that flexibility and so that quickly you can we can make some changes and you'll have that ability to go to market very quickly whenever you want. So that's how, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Coming to your work-life balance, could you tell us a little bit about your hobbies, any interests? What do you like to do in your free time?
So I actually love to sing. I play a lot of music. Then, of course, I do a lot of. I spend my time in gardening. I have created a beautiful terrace garden in my society. So I love that because at least that background which I come from, right? I was studying in agricultural university, so that helps me, and I still like that and pursue that and follow that, and I really enjoy it in my pastime.
Well, that's great. And now, on a slightly philosophical note and looking back,
Okay.
is there anything that you have missed out in this professional journey? Do you have any regrets or any thoughts that you could have done something differently?
No, no. I think whatever I have achieved, also it was never planned. It just based on my hard work and my interest. Wherever I put my interest, I got the due for it. I have never expected more, and no regrets. Also, I think yes, there have been ups and downs, but yes, I have learned some of the mistakes or some of the uh, even learned from uh, some of my seniors and mentors. They've guided me, and so I would not say there is any regret, but yes, there's still journey is on. Hopefully, I'll continue this journey and for at least another 10 years or so. Yeah.
Absolutely. And on that note, quickly, let's have a fun segment. Could you tell
Yeah.
us what's your favorite food?
Yeah, so it is mutton.
Okay. And favorite time of the day, morning or evening?
It is definitely morning.
Morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel
And
lot of energy and yeah,
morning person there.
morning.
All right.
Yes,
And fill in the blank. Life is incomplete without
without a partner that is white, and of course a kid.
without family, of course.
With that
Well
family.
said there. Well, thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us about your life and your journey. It surely will inspire our viewers and all of those who are watching Cutting Chai Stories.